Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with, I'm so happy this is still around. I need to talk about it. Diabelli's Waltz. This is fun. This is Rudolf Buchbinder back in his glory days, his early days on what was Telefunken or Teldec, when he made his first cycle of Beethoven sonatas and whatnot. It's the complete waltz variations. The complete variations on Diabelli's Waltz. Now, Diabelli's Waltz is famous for the Beethoven Diabelli variation, that enormous, wonderful compendium of variation technique. And it's an extraordinary masterpiece, of course, and the waltz is this delightful little tune that nobody could believe Beethoven could make so much of. But as Tovey pointed out, the reason he makes so much of it is because it's a simple little tune. It has very basic musical facts. And because those facts are so basic, it's da-da-dum bum 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 ba-da-da-da-dum, da-da-dum bum 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 ba-da-dum ba-da-da-da-dum, ba-dum bum ba-dum bum ba-dum bum ba-dum bum ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum, something like that. I mean, I didn't do it right, but the point is that it's in two parts, both repeated. And you can do anything with it because it doesn't do anything itself. That's the point. Anyway, Beethoven wrote the Diabelli variations and obliterated the fact that the original project that Diabelli did, who was a music publisher, was to write a little waltz and then invite every living composer he knew from that period to contribute a variation to make an album, a sort of a benefit album of Austrian composers and Austrian artists and who they were and what they were, so that people could hear them, for themselves and play them at home. And 40 other composers, apparently here, 52, other variations on a waltz by Diabelli were participated besides Beethoven. And so Rudolf Buchbinder recorded the whole album. It's sort of amazing it took such a long time for somebody to do it, because there are some rather fascinating names in here. And let's take a look and see who some of them are. This is really, really fun. Oh my goodness, look at, here they all are. Look at all those people. So you get, of course, the canonical Diabelli variations by Beethoven. And then you get, let's see, all these other people. First you get the theme. Then you have, do we want to really hear who all of them are? Well, let me just give you the names we'll recognize. Carl Czerny, we know him. Oh, look, there's Moritz Count von Dietrichstein. I just like the name, so that's why we mention him. Let's see, Freistetler, someone like that. And Gensbacher, and all these people. Oh, my God. Okay, Hummel. So we get to the H's. We know Hummel. This is fortunately in alphabetical order, I think. Yes, it is. And then we've got, Anselm Hüttenbrenner. Some people may have heard of him. Friedrich Kalkbrenner, you may have heard of him. Konrad and Kreutzer. He's famous. More as a violinist, if I'm not mistaken. And Heinrich Edward Joseph Baron von Lanoy. I mean, having aristocratic amateur composers contribute was also like a selling point, right? Because they get all their friends to buy it. And they're the only ones who could probably afford it. So there you go. And Franz Liszt, he was like 11, I think, at the time, which is pretty remarkable. Joseph Mayseder, Ignaz Moscheles. Moscheles became a very, very big deal, right? Franz Xavier Wolfgang Mozart, the son. And there are two variations by him. He did a double. Oh, boy. And let's see also. Who else have we got here? We got a couple Riegers. Well, he does two of them also. Anybody else we care about? Oh, yeah. Franz Schubert. I mean, did anybody know about Franz Schubert back in those days? But he was in, and they found him. Simon Sechter. Simon Sechter was the teacher of Schubert and later Bruckner. Remember him? Yeah, sure. And we've got Tomaszek. Yeah, Václav Tomaszek. We've heard of him. And Franz Weber. And let's see, anybody else? Oh, yeah, Jan Václav Voracek. And finally, the Coda by Carl Czerny. 2 minutes and 44 seconds worth. So it's really quite a remarkable project. And then there are lots of others, and you get to hear all of their variations, and they're all like, a minute, less, a little more, 2 minutes maybe. So this was a terrific project. It actually kind of put Buchbinder on the map outside of Austria in any case, and I thought it was lost forever. But somebody at Warner or Teldec dug it up, and they've republished it, and I am absolutely delighted, and I recommend it to you accordingly. It's a fascinating. It did what it was supposed to do. It introduces us to everybody who was a composer in Austria at the time, and we hear young soon-to-be geniuses and older soon-to-be anonymouses. And they're all very, very interesting, quite frankly. I loved this project. I used to play it all the time back when I was in college. And I just came across it, wifting through stuff in the overflow room, and there it is. So give it a shot. Diabelli's Waltz with Rudolf Buchbinder. You can't go wrong. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.